Josh Allen and Tyreek Hill to the Chiefs. 2026 already decided. Two of the NFL's most valuable stars, Josh Allen and Tyreek Hill, have both indicated they're on their way to Kansas City. This could be the biggest power shift the league has seen in years, and honestly, it already feels like we know who the 2026 Super Bowl champ will be. Allen's arm, Hill's speed, add in Mahomes, Kelsey, and Andy Reid calling the shots, and you've got a team that looks completely unstoppable. The talent level is off the charts, and the chemistry could be next level, but let's not forget, anything can happen in football, and that's what makes it so thrilling. Even though the Chiefs are looking like the favorites on paper, the road to the Super Bowl is never easy. One thing's for sure, 2026 is going to be one of the most exciting seasons in NFL history. Get ready for wild moments, jaw-dropping plays, and a Chiefs team that could go down as one of the greatest ever assembled. Chiefs Kingdom, are you ready? Drop your predictions in the comments. Hey everyone, come on in, because today we're talking about something serious and exciting. The new rules approved by the NFL are going to transform the game as we know it. And of course, they directly impact our beloved Kansas City Chiefs. From kickoffs to overtime, everything is different, and you need to understand what's coming in 2025. Are you ready to see Patrick Mahomes face a new overtime format? One that guarantees both teams a chance to respond to any touchdown? What if I told you Harrison Butker will have to change the way he kicks the ball? Well, my friend, the 2025 season is already starting off differently, even before the first whistle blows. Stick with me till the end because I'm breaking it all down in 15 quick blocks. Just the way you like it, direct, dynamic, and with red and gold running through your veins. And hey, let me know in the comments which of these rule changes do you think will help the Chiefs the most. Let's talk, Kingdom. Before we dive into these new rules, it's only fair to take a moment to praise the man behind the scenes, Clark Hunt. This guy is the pillar holding up our victorious dynasty. He inherited the legacy of his father, Lamar Hunt, and had the vision and wisdom to build the empire we have today in Kansas City. It was Clark who brought in Andy Reid, kept Brett Veach as general manager, and gave the team the freedom to build a winning culture. Not every owner does that, Kingdom. He respected the past and built a brighter future, and we've already seen the results. 2 Super Bowl titles in just 3 years. So now I ask, let's show our appreciation. Smash that like button if you respect and admire what Clark Hunt has done for the Chiefs. And of course, a special shout out to the wonderful Gracie Hunt. Let's get 500 likes just for them. They've earned it. Now, let's get to the point. The NFL has approved a rule change that promises to bring more excitement to kickoffs starting in 2025. Touchbacks will now be placed at the 35-yard line instead of the 25. The goal? To encourage kickoff returns and bring back the thrill right from the start of each game. According to league projections, the return rate could jump from 33% in 2024 to as high as 70% in 2025. This changes everything. More explosive plays, more chances for both mistakes and magic, and a huge impact on field position. One of the most important factors in any NFL game. For the Chiefs, this means special teams just became even more important. Players like Montrell Washington are stepping into the spotlight. With Samaje Perine gone, we'll need return talent, whether from the current roster, the draft, or free agency. And our special teams maestro, Dave 2, has his work cut out for him. One player who'll need to adapt fast is our kicker, Harrison Butker. The old strategy was simple. Boot the ball deep for a guaranteed touchback, avoiding any dangerous returns. But now, with the ball being spotted at the 35-yard line on a touchback, that approach isn't so smart anymore. Expect Butker to start kicking shorter on purpose, forcing returns and giving our coverage unit a chance to stop them before the 35. That could give our defense better field position, but of course this requires perfect timing and execution. These tactical details might seem small, but they can decide a close game, especially in the playoffs. With a coordinator like Dave Tubb in charge, I'm confident the Chiefs will use this rule to their advantage. Keep your eye on this, because it could be our secret weapon all season long. If there's one thing we've been complaining about lately, it's the number of touchbacks in games. Every time the ball flew out of the end zone and the game started at the 25, it felt like the excitement vanished. Where was the adrenaline, the unpredictability, the jaw-dropping comeback? That's about to change. This new rule is the NFL's way of bringing excitement back to return plays. It's a balance between player safety and fan entertainment. And let's be real, watching a well-executed return, dodging tackles and gaining precious yards, is one of the most thrilling moments in football. So, Kingdom, what do you think? Do you like this change? Drop a yes or no in the comments. And while you're there, tell me, what's your all-time favorite Chiefs return? I bet a lot of you will say Mecole Hardman and those insane zigzagging runs across the field. Now, let's talk about something new, technology helping to bring justice to the field. The NFL just approved a rule allowing video systems to assist referees in specific situations, like face masks, tripping, hitting defenseless players, horse collar tackles, and roughing the kicker. But here's the key. It only applies if the foul is already called on the field. The replay can't invent new fouls. It can only correct bad calls or exaggerations. This is a big step, especially in a league where games are often decided by razor-thin margins and controversial flags. But you know what's still missing? Roughing the passer? How many times has Chris Jones been flagged for a clean hit on a QB that everyone could see was? Remember that Raiders game? Chris made a perfect textbook sack and still got flagged. It was a joke. If replay had been allowed to correct that kind of mistake, it never would have happened. We hope this issue gets addressed in May at the next owners meeting because it's long overdue. Defenders deserve fairness too. If QBs get protected, Chris Jones deserves justice. The NFL, we're watching. And you, Kingdom. Should roughing the passer be included in replay reviews? Comment below and let your voice be heard. The Chiefs Report will continue covering every detail of this second wave of NFL free agency, and this kind of under-the-radar move is exactly what separates teams that are just looking to compete from those that are gearing up to contend. We'll dive into the numbers and break down the depth chart in the next segment, but first, I want to hear from you, Chiefs Kingdom. What do you think about the return of Mike Edwards? Does this move get an A in your book, or are you skeptical about bringing back a familiar face? Drop your grade, D, or F in the comments below and tell us why. Would you have gone after someone else, or do you believe this is another Brett Veach gem in the making? Let's talk about it. Now, let's dig deeper into the Mike Edwards signing and explore why this reunion might carry more weight than it seems, not just from a player's perspective, but as a blueprint for how Kansas City continues to stay quietly ahead of the curve in an ever-evolving NFL landscape. We're talking about a guy who's played in 83 career NFL games. That's no small sample size. He's started in 30 of them, but maybe more importantly, he's been part of 2 Super Bowl winning locker rooms. He knows what championship preparation looks like. He understands the pressure of the biggest moments and knows how to deliver when legacy is on the line. That's the kind of institutional knowledge you can't teach, and it's exactly what you want embedded throughout your roster. Let's not forget how he fits into this particular Chiefs defensive scheme. Edwards isn't coming into a completely new system. He doesn't have to learn new terminology, adapt to an unfamiliar culture, or figure out where he belongs in the locker room. He's already been here, he's thrived here, he's played under Steve Spagnuolo and understands the rhythm, expectations, and language of this defense. That means less ramp-up time and more plug-and-play reliability. In a league where a single injury can shift an entire season, having a player like Edwards who knows the system and can step in seamlessly is incredibly valuable. On paper, Mike Edwards may be penciled in as a backup, but make no mistake, he's fully capable of stepping into a starting role and holding his ground. Whether it's covering on third downs, filling in for an injured starter, or playing a key part in 3 safety packages, Edwards brings a level of versatility that defensive coordinators dream of. And this is where the bigger picture comes into focus. Kansas City isn't just reacting to the loss of Justin Reid, a proven leader in the secondary. They're building smart. They're not throwing big money at flashy free agents. They're reinforcing from within. Bryan Cook and Jaden Hicks are expected to carry a lot of responsibility, no doubt, but bringing Edwards back gives you a trusted veteran presence, someone who can contribute immediately while helping guide the younger players. Speaking of Jaden Hicks, let's touch on why this signing is also a smart move for his development. The consensus has been that Hicks is ready for an elevated role, and that's still true, but You don't want to throw a young safety into the deep end without a safety net. Mike Edwards is that safety net. He brings experience, adaptability, and the kind of leadership that allows young talent to grow without being overwhelmed. Bringing in Mike Edwards gives Jaden Hicks a veteran to lean on, someone to mentor him both on the field and in the film room, someone who can shoulder some of the pressure while Hicks grows into his role. And that's the thing about the Chiefs front office under Brett Veach. They're not just building a team for today. They're building for the long haul. The Edwards deal isn't flashy, and that's exactly why it works. These are the kinds of moves that win championships. Depth wins championships. Chemistry wins championships. Flexibility and experience in your second unit, that wins championships too. Now, let's not overlook the financial angle. While the terms of Edwards' contract haven't been publicly released, the assumption among insiders is that it's a low-cost, team-friendly deal. That's crucial when you're already allocating major cap space to stars like Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, and others. When your salary cap is tight, you have to win on the margins. And this is one of those smart margin-winning moves. This signing also fits the philosophy we've seen from Andy Reid time and again. He's never been afraid to give players a second chance, even if they've been off the radar. Reid understands the value of continuity. He values culture, and he knows that if a guy has proven he can thrive in the Kansas City system, he's worth bringing back into the fold. That brings us to the fan perspective. No, this isn't the type of signing that will have fans buzzing like a new wide receiver or shutdown corner, but it's a reminder of how this organization wins, with consistency, calculated risk, and a deep respect for players who understand what it means to wear the arrowhead. Make no mistake, this team is still in win-now mode. The championship window isn't closing. It's wide open. With Mahomes leading the charge and the foundation of this roster still solid, it's smart, behind-the-scenes moves like this that keep the machine running. So, Chiefs Kingdom, where do you stand on this? Do you see this as a masterclass in building strategic depth, or would you have preferred a younger, flashier name to round out the safety room? Drop your grade in the comments, A, B, C, D, or F, and let's get the conversation started. Did Brett Veach hit another home run with this move? Are you pumped to see Mike Edwards back in red and gold, or are there still gaps you're hoping the front office addresses before the draft? Sound off below. The Chiefs Report will be right here with you, breaking down every roster move, every depth chart shakeup, and every strategy that gets us one step closer to another Lombardi trophy. Until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and always keep the faith in the kingdom. The facts behind the surprise signing the Kansas City Chiefs have signed safety Mike Edwards to a one-year contract, significantly reinforcing their secondary as they gear up to defend their title once again. According to sources close to the organization, the deal was finalized after intense negotiations in recent days. Despite receiving more lucrative offers from other teams, Edwards chose Kansas City, a clear sign of the culture and championship mindset that continues to attract top talent. Mike Edwards represents exactly the type of player we're looking for on our defense, said GM Brett Veach in an official statement. His versatility, on-field intelligence, and ability to create turnovers align perfectly with our defensive philosophy. This move shakes up the Chiefs' safety rotation, creating healthy competition with Brian Cook and Justin Reid for defensive snaps. It also sends a strong message to rivals like the Bills, Ravens, and Bengals. Kansas City's secondary just got even stronger. Genius or unnecessary? What do you think about this signing? Brilliant strategy or unnecessary move? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to grade the signing A, B, C, D, or F. Why this signing matters. To understand the full impact, we have to go back to last season. Even while winning the Super Bowl, the Chiefs struggled with depth in the secondary, especially after injuries to key players. The coaching staff clearly identified the need to bolster the safety position with experience and adaptability. Edwards, who won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2021 and played with the Falcons last season, brings both. His familiarity with different defensive schemes and proven ability to adapt made him a top target for Kansas City. The timing of the move is also strategic, coming after the main wave of free agency and before the draft, giving the Chiefs flexibility heading into draft weekend. Remember when the Chiefs signed Tyrann Mathieu in 2019 and completely transformed the defense? If you remember that impact, comment Honey Badger below.